Hi there, it's Steve here from Telford Ultimate Guide, and we are on a quest. Now this morning it's I think it's around about 10 past 7 in the morning, and we are going to investigate a kind of rumour or something that's been floating around on Facebook, saying that there was a coppice of trees that was planted out with the words Telford on it. A lot of people speculate. Everybody thought it was speculation, but my good friend Rod Postlethwaite has given me some damning evidence of the location of this place, and a very, very interesting map from the Environment Agency that really does show the words out Telford, so it does exist. So we're hoping to go to the location and potentially take a drone up if we get this wind to settle down a little bit, and take a look at these trees and see if we can see it from above. What an exciting thing to do. So what Rod gave me is this piece of paper here, this map. This isn't a Google Images map or anything like that, so it can't be seen on Google Maps, but you can see, I think this is sort of just between, it might be spring or it might be autumn, but you can clearly see the words Telford written across there. So we're going to go and try and investigate this, and we're going to come up from this way up into this field here and hopefully be able to take the drone up from there. Behind me is the brewery inn in Coalport, and this is generally just open to people who are using the pub and eating there, etc. But sometimes when it's quiet, I suppose you can find a little space in here. But this is ultimately where you get access to the Telford trees. So we'll show you and take you on a journey of exactly how to get to it. Here are the Telford trees, and this is an amazing installation by Telford Development Corporation in around about 1967. It took a staggering 10 years for these trees to be visible, and they're a mix of kind of Douglas firs and oak trees. And it is absolutely stunning, this installation. Let's take a little bit more of a detailed look at it. So as I've said, this is the start of the installation of trees, meaning the first letter. Now, at the top of the bank there, we have the golf course. At the bottom there, we have Coalport. So we're actually on a big bank at the moment. So the first letters of the installation, are here. So our first letter is coming up, and that is the letter T. Now you can see a lot of these red oaks here, these sort of with that rusty colour. So I think that sort of, they've been very, very selective on what trees they use for this. So this is the T. Our first one is our letter T. Well, you can see from over there, if I go up a little bit, you can see from there that there's a very distinct difference in the shade of trees there. And you can see here, there is a lot of Douglas firs here. So let's actually take a look at what we've got on ground level. So this is what we call I'm pretty sure this is the T. Now, if I zoom up a little bit, you'll be able to see the actual shape. So the centre tree there creates the T going up, and then you can see just a little bit further up that it goes out that way and out that way. So that's your first letter of the word Telford. Now it's quite, the T is quite pronounced, so you can see the Douglas firs, so you can see how wide they are. I would probably put an estimate of that of the bottom of the T, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 meters in width. So as we go over, we've still on the T, so you can see how big that T is, but you can get a good idea of the letter there. And obviously, like I said to you, it doesn't really make much sense until you're actually viewing it with a drone, which we will shortly look at. Now as we go along, we will see the next letter. Okay, so you can see there's a fair old big space in between each letter, so it is absolutely a gigantic art installation. So our next letter is the E. So as we're looking here now, you can see the letter E there. So we've got the bottom end of the E, and you can see there it goes right up on the bank there, and you can see the line of trees there, nice and straight, but also the width of the front here, which is also quite a wide section of that tree. So that is definitely our E in the T, the E. Now let's go along a little bit further and we will look for the L. So we're expecting the L to be quite pronounced at the bottom. So as I say, there's quite a big gap in between each of the trees. So here we are, we're actually on the bottom now, which is the bottom of the L. So obviously we're expecting that to be a lot wider, but as you see, the trees go straight up right the way through to create the L. And moving on from the L, we have the F. Now an F is a really kind of difficult shape to make, I think. But so let's have a look what we got here. So this is the F. So this is the line going up here will create the stalk of the F, and then you can actually see inside there. You can actually just see inside there the other parts. So the letters just carry on all the way down here now until all of the letters are pronounced out. And obviously, like I said, it doesn't really make a lot of sense when you're looking at it from here. However, when you look at it from the air, it's a totally different story. the Telford tree installation. Now, imagine if you worked for the TDC and you had somebody really rich who wanted to come and invest into Telford. Why not fly him up the Ironbridge Gorge to see the bridge, the river, and also to see the word Telford planted in trees? Quite unique, isn't it? Deserve some respect for that. Well done, TDC. Nice Easter egg for the future. This really is an amazing discovery, and you know, the current state of it at the moment is, yeah, it is a little bit ropey in there. There's a lot of dead trees and it could probably do with a little bit of work on it, but I'm sure, you know, after this video, I think maybe a few people will take an interest in it and hopefully, you know, manage this installation a little bit better than it is. But how this project came about is on one of my Telford Ultimate Guide walking groups, a good friend of mine, Rod Postlethwaite, he actually used to work for Ordnance Survey and mapped out a lot of Telford's buildings over the years, and he showed me a drawing or an Apple Maps view of this art installation, and I thought to myself, this is very Telford Ultimate Guide. So then I decided that I would take a bit more of a look into this. So basically he gave me the tools, and that's how this project's come about. But also there's a few other people I want to thank. I want to thank Tristen from Smallwoods. He has come out and done a site recce with me and identified some of the trees, etc. in the installation. But also I want to thank Dave Wassall, who was a former TDC landscape architect, and he's given me the dating of the project, the trees, even though it was before his time with the TDC. But it's nice to know, and for the reason why the TDC did this project. It really is an amazing thing, and I can imagine it would have been amazing coming up the gorge and seeing that on the hillside. I mean, you know, there's been a lot of rumours about these trees for a long time, people saying, do they exist, etc., you know, but we've proved that they do. And you know, I would be, you know, if you're thinking of trying to come and have a look yourself, there's no reason why you can't come on foot, but you know, you need to respect the woodland. But also, if you're thinking of flying a drone, there's a great field below that you could fly the drone from, but the higher the altitude, the better, and I found coming off the golf course was better. Of course, I got permission off the golf course, and they were very obliging, and you know, I want to thank them for it. But you know, hopefully it's a little Easter egg that the TDC have left us, and it's absolutely thrilling to be able to go and find it and document it. That's enough for me. Join us on the next video. Thanks for watching.